Hey guys, it's me again. Here we are, another week. It's been getting rather hot here in Juarez, but I still managed to get the news for you guys, and we're gonna go talk really fast about some interesting stuff that's happening in the metal world. First of all, for those of you who don't know, In Flames, who 2 weeks ago announced, no, what was it, like 2 months ago, right? Announced the addition of Nicholas Engelin to their lineup. Have confirmed that they're going to be signing with Century Media Records to release and their newest album, Sounds of a Playground Fading. It's going to be coming out in various places around June. Sweden is the first one that's going to be coming out in the 15th of June, and then Germany in the 17th. The rest of Europe around June 20, and North America on the 21st of June. It's going to be about 13 songs. It was recorded and produced by Robert Lagge, who has done production for Sonic Syndicate, another Swedish band you might have known about, with similar sound to, a sound too similar to the earlier or the more hardcore, In Flames albums, Around the Edge of Clayman or We Were to Remain. That's the sound they were working on with Sonic Syndicate was working on. What else? Oh yeah. Well, Anders Fridon, the singer from Flames, said that this new album is going to be really challenging for some of the fans because it has some really different song structure. He actually said there's this song called The Attic where he's going to have some accordion playing the chorus instead of Anders singing it. And there's another song where it has a spoken word part that moves into something like kind of the Depeche Mode thing going in there, which might be interesting. I'm gonna have to check it out because, like we talked about before, I kind of lost the faith on In Flames with their last two albums, but I think maybe now, there can be some different sounding, maybe better sounding, at least for me. What else? Oh yeah, Borknagar. If you have done any idea who these guys are, Borknagar is like a superstar Norwegian progressive black metal outfit. Has the guy from the keyboard player for Lars Netland, who has played with a lot of Norwegian metalheads. The guys from the singer from Ulver used to play there. They have a Tyr and bass, if I'm not mistaken. They have Wintershog from Swedish fame singing it. It's basically a super group. They have a very nice black progressive metal. And this guy's also signed with the Century Media. They're gonna be releasing a new album this year, I think, if I'm not mistaken. And speaking of In Flames again, there's been a new band called the Rsistance. It's gonna be having members from In Flames, The Haunted, and Grave. And guess who is in this new lineup? Yes, guys, if you like In Flames, you might remember this couple names. One is Jesper Strömblatt, and the other is Glenn Youngstrom, who were originally the guitar players for In Flames in the early days. In fact, Jesper Strömblatt just left In Flames a few months ago, and now he's back. We also have Marco Aro, who was the singer for The Haunted, while the original singer was away a bit. Alex Losbach, who played in various bands which I haven't heard. One of them is Despite, the other is Decameron and Cardinal Sin. And Chris Barkengsjo, I can't pronounce this, Carnal Forge, Godsick, and Grave is also in drums in this band called the Rsistance. Their new lineup is there. I think they put up a demo over there in the internet. I can't really remember good enough. I saw it, but I thought a lot of people might be interested in this news. Moving on to something different, Chtonic. This Taiwanese black metal band, really good Taiwanese metal band. Always talking about their traditions, how they're different from Japan, from China and Japan. They're releasing a new album called. They're going into to record a new album, which is going to be called Takasago Army. which, if I remember correctly, was a special division of the Taiwanese army that were like, really really hardcore, and won many battles against Japanese and the Chinese and whatnot. It's gonna be produced by Richard Bengtsson, who produced Arch Enemy and Nemesis in Sweden. It's gonna be having 10 songs, and it's gonna be sort of like the last part of the trilogy that's been going on since Zadik Veil and Mirrors of Retribution, which were the last 2 albums. Those guys have really really nice sounding. I've heard some of their stuff. I can't say I'm really a big fan, but they're good overall. For those of you who are interested in Academy, I have here the track listing for their new albums, Chaos Legions, which is gonna have apparently 16 songs, which is quite a lot if you ask me, but a lot of them seem to be instrumental. I'm gonna go around really quickly through it. The first one's called Chaos Overture. It's an instrumental song. Then you have Yesterday is Dead and Gone, Bloodstained Cross, Under Black Flags We March, No Gods, No Masters, City of the Dead, Through the Eyes of a Raven, Cruelty Without Beauty, We Are a Godless Entity is number 9, and it's also an instrumental song. We have Cult of Chaos, Thorns in My Flesh, Turn to Dust, another instrumental song. Vengeance is Mine. And then we have the Secrets. Then we have another one called The Zoo, and the last one is going to be called Snowbound. And this is going to be the last song. And Snowbound is acoustic. Turn to Dust, it's instrumental too. So we have about 3 instrumental songs and an acoustic one. I can't imagine those guys playing acoustic, but I think you're gonna have to check it out. Another one thing we're gonna talk about is their live CD, their last live album and DVD for one of my favorite bands of all times. One of the bands I can truly say I listen to their whole discography and not be bored at all, because they have so many changes. I'm talking about Theater Tragedy, who last year, in 2009, announced they're splitting up, and they made some shows. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to go to the one here in Mexico because I was tight on money, but I'm really really sorry that I missed them. I really like those guys. I really like the direction they had taken with their last 2 albums, Storm and Forever Is the World. But well, sadly we'll have only their last album. It's gonna be a double live album and a DVD, and it actually covers most of the band. I'm gonna read to you a few of the songs in the album. One is Hide and Seek, Bring Forth Ye Shadow, Frozen, Ashes and Dreams, A Rose for the Dead, Fragment, And When He Falleth, Venus, Hollow, Storm, Image, A Hamlet for Slothful Vassal, Fade, Machine, Der Tanz der Schatten, and Forever Is the World. Which, if you're a fan of those guys, you're gonna realize it's a lot of songs from all of their albums, even from the Theater Tragedy album, up to going through ages, going through what's called Assembly, Machine, Der Tanz der Schatten. No, I mean Velvet Darkness, if here's the second album, yeah. And the last 2 albums, we have everything in there. It's very very interesting, I think. My Dying Bride has announced that they're actually going to do this year a project they've been talking about for quite a few years, if I'm not correct. At least 5 years, I remember they talked about it. It's a collection and reworking of old songs. It's going to be called Eventa. It's going to come out in oh yeah, sorry I didn't get this. It's going to be coming, it's going to be coming out in May next month, which is probably going to be very interesting. It's supposed to be, like reinterpretations of very old songs with changes in vocals and stuff by Aaron St. Thorpe, the singer. And it's going to be also having this guy called John Mottling, who's been playing in Balsa Goth. And it's going to be having a lot of classical musicians reinterpreting the Doom songs of My Dying Bride. It also has a professional opera singer called Lucy Roche. And it's going to be called Eventa. It's going to be coming out on May 31st on Peaceville Records. It's a 2-disc edition, normal edition, and the deluxe 3-disc edition. And it has a 60-page book inspired by my dying bride's art over the last 15 years. It's gonna be over the last 20 decades. They've been talking about this forever. If you guys know about Inflame, sorry, about My Dying Bride. I really like My Dying Bride. It's kind of a good music to drink to, and I think it's gonna be very interesting. Another new project that's coming out, another one of those super bands coming out. It's gonna be called what was it? Blackgates. Yeah, and it's gonna be having people. It has singer Dan Nelson, who was in Anthrax a while back. It has Paul Bostaph, who was a drummer for Testament and Exodus and Slayer. And it's also having this guy called Jeremy Epp, which from a band called The Venting Machine, which I've never heard of, and bassist Uriah Duffy, who was bassist in Whitesnake. So it might have something very interesting. There's apparently a very interesting mix of styles and talents there. They have already put their demo, I think, the first track of the demo in Reverb Nation over on the internet. It's called Tits War. I haven't heard it, but I saw a lot of comments over there, people thinking it was really good. I can say. And lastly, I'm gonna do a plug for another Mexican band, which I've heard their first album of, and hopefully their second album is gonna be good. I'm talking about doom metalers, Mexican metalers called Maligno, which for those of you who don't speak Spanish means like evil, in the sense of being evil, as in he's evil. This guy's recorded at La Nave Studios in Monterrey, Mexico. They mixed it at 7 Hertz Studios in Los Angeles with Billy Anderson, who's done production and engineering for Melvin's Neurosis, Cathedral, and Sleep. And it was mastered by Alan Duche. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing this good, because some of these names I can't pronounce properly. Called Duche's at Westside Music, and he's produced for Converge, Hatebreed, and the Dillinger Escape Plan. And this one, the mastering was done apparently in New York, so hopefully it's gonna be a new song. It's supposedly gonna have collaborations with these two pair of another Mexicans you might have heard about playing guitar, classic guitar, Rodrigo and Gabriela, and also having guitar legend Alex Chtonic from Testament and his own jazz trio, Alex Chtonic Trio fame. It's gonna have 9 songs, some of which are gonna be The Beginning, Great White Throne, Transmutation, Solstice, Emperor's Fall, Coughing of Dreams, and We Shall Descend. I suggest you guys check it out. Those guys have a really good sound, and those guys opened for Metallica when they played in Mexico last time around. So yeah, I think they're gonna be hitting it big sometime soon.